see if we could play it. Okay, so this was a conference in California for teacher librarians. And we could go ahead and see if we can figure it out. So give me a name. You could put it in the chat. You could just say it. You could unmute yourself. There's not that many of us today, so just. Bob. We want Bob. Okay, Bob. What's Bob's favorite food? Pita. So I'll also put this in the chat for you if you want to play it. Is that Oreos? Are you trying to say Oreos? Alright, so where's Bob from? Minnesota. Is that how you spell it? Do I have enough S's? Okay, this is gonna bother me. How do I spell Minnesota? Sota. Ah, you're right. 2 N's, 1 S. You're way better than me. 2 N's, 1 S. Yeah. So when I was studying in Massachusetts, so I went to MIT, right? And so MIT is in Massachusetts, and Massachusetts has a lot of S's in it. And every time I have to write out Massachusetts, instead of putting MA for the abbreviation, I always have to count to make sure I have all the S's inside of it. And Massachusetts is really, really long. So yeah, I'm originally from Arizona. Arizona is easy to spell, so I like Arizona. So, oh dear, Bob is such a nice name. I hope you know what is an opinion. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave. So this is supposed to be educational because I was giving it for librarians and they wanted to do it for, digital citizenship. Did you do any digital citizenship stuff at your school? What about you, Rohan? Do you know have you done anything related to digital citizenship? Sometimes it's called like just e-safety or things like that. Ah, okay. So basically, digital citizenship is how to be a good digital citizen online. The basic stuff. Don't give your password out to people. Don't tell people where you live exactly. Don't give, people personal information about yourself. That's the e-safety part. And then you have like the being a good person part, like don't bully people online. Don't say mean things. Use tech for good. So that's another thing that's coming up pretty often. So like people can use technology like elementary or videos or social media to have a positive impact in their community or with other people. So yeah, like some things that use tech for creepy. What is that? Anyway, so we have a couple of options. What are we going to do? We could turn right, we could turn left, or we could click on this thing. What do we want to do? This note? Yeah, that's what it's called. Not thing, note. The note. So we're going to click on the note, and then we have this up here. Okay, so what do we do? We could go back, or we could click on random things and fact check. You could click on things and then fact check, and then you get turned into a spider. Yeah, this is now you. This is now Bob. So try again. So we're gonna sneak out again, and so maybe we shouldn't click on the note yet. So we could do a couple of things. We could go right, or we could go left. Left. Always go left. Okay. You wish you can exit now. You have a feeling you'll be the next talking bug if you take too long. So since they're glowing, that means I can click on them. And if I click on them, You can find fake news on the internet. Playing the piano is easy. Huh. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so we'll try going right now. So we find ourselves in a room with a talking cat and a pizza. So I click on the cat, on the pizza. It says pizza is originally an Italian dish. And then I click on the cat. I don't think Molly cares about. Molly's like, I just want to sleep. Just let me sleep. Go back to your class. I didn't bother you. Okay. So we can go now to the right. And why are there so many talking animals? Who knows? Maybe it's the witch's fault. So if I click on the goose, it says nobody likes to wake up in the morning. And ants are very strong and can lift 20 times their weight. Okay. So Rohan says that the facts are the pizza and caterpillar and the ant. So I'm going to click on the pizza, the caterpillar. Oh, I was like, where is it? It's here. Okay, and the ant. If I fact check now, congratulations, Bob from Minnesota, who likes pita. You have successfully escaped. And voila. So this was a very... So this is a quick example that I threw together to just show teachers and librarians kind of how you can do it. I've actually created a choice board that goes through text variables, if I can find it. Let me find it. So I have a text variable choice board, and I'll put it in the chat and you can have a look at it. But this is really useful if you forget about, let's say, how to do a certain thing for coding. So like, for example, we did this last week, ask the reader for the name. You're like, okay, I know I learned it somehow, but I don't really remember how anymore. So I can click on it and then, well, that's kind of awkward. Sometimes the images are weird. Let's refresh. It means it's not loading properly, the images. So let's go again. There we go. So ask the reader for their name, and then here's the code. Okay, and remember we have to use the curly brackets on the front side. So you can say hello, Nicole, Bob, etc. So this is what we did here earlier. We did on text input, text variable equals text object. We did a comparison later to respond with something. And we can take a look back and we can also see, like, then this is the second thing that we've done. We've done the ask the reader to answer a question. And you see here, oh, we compare the answer with 4. So yep, we need the mustaches. And then you could take a look to see how it's all coded. So you have that available for you if you want to, use it for your own stories. It's there. It exists. You can take a look at it. So let's go back to our story and let's figure out what kind of riddle we want to do. So did I show you the counting riddle last time? I think so, right? No? I didn't show you the counting riddle? Okay, let me try to find it. It wasn't the candies. It was with candles. Do you remember anything with candles? Okay, I think we could do one of these. It's pretty fun and pretty easy to do. Okay, so I think it's this one. And I'll put this also in the chat if you want to play it and see if you can figure it out yourself. Okay, so this is a very simple escape room puzzle that we can do in our story. And it doesn't have to impact our story in any way. We can write whatever we want, and we could just use this type of puzzle inside of our story to create a code. So how does this work? Well, we have a couple of places that we can click on in this story. So if you notice, my little cursor turns into a little hand when I can click on something, but it's invisible, it's not glowing, so it's a little bit hard to know what you can click on. So you just have to experiment. Let's say I go through this door. So I'm now here, and this is, if we were to translate it, it's a 4-digit code. We're looking for a 4-digit code. So we don't have any information, so let's go back to the street. All right, we need a 4-digit code. And I'm going to go into this room here. What do we notice? There are 3 candles. I mean, I already gave it away. I was like, did you see the candle story? But yeah, there are 3 candles. And let's go back. And let's go into another room. So we have a room here, and we have a room here. And I'll show you how we can create this type of effect on elementary very quickly after we do this puzzle. So now I have like 2 places I can go. Do I want to go to the middle one or to the one in the right? The one on the right? Let's try the one on the right. So, oh look, there's more candles. So I'm going to go back. And if I go to the middle one, there's more candles. Do we have an idea about how we can solve this puzzle? Ah, the number of each color of candles. Okay, so let's count. So we're in the throne room, and someone want to put in the chat how many blues and pinks there are, or write it on a piece of paper for us. So how many blues are there? I see 3 blues, 2 pinks. Am I missing one? 3 blues and 2 pinks in the throne room. If I go to the middle room, I'm going into, it looks like a kitchen of some sort. And I have a yellow one, or orange, and 1 blue one. Okay, so how many? So we have 1 yellow, 1 red, 3 pinks, 5 or 6 blues. Is it 5 or is it 6? Is this total? So we have this room, we have this room, and we have a room here as well. So the room here has 1 blue, 2 blues, 5 yellows, 1 pink. Do we find all the rooms? Do we count all of them? The last room is this window here on the very edge. It's kind of hidden. Do you agree, Kendra? So while we're counting all of our candles, what's the order then that we put our numbers in? Okay, so how many reds are there? 1 red. Was it? How many yellows? 6. Pink. 5. Blue. 7. Uh-oh, I think we miscounted somewhere, so let's take a look. Okay, So we have the bird 1647. Changed your mind? Okay, let's try 1647. 1647. What took you so long? Dun dun dun. So he didn't code that part, but yes, so we basically have exited. So you see, this is a type of puzzle that we could include in any kind of story that we're creating. So it could be our spy story, it could be, a fantasy story, it could be whatever, and we could just add different objects in and make the reader kind of find them and then use those objects to have some sort of order. In this case, the order was, they gave the order using the colors top to bottom, but you could do other ways of giving an order. So one other popular thing is hiding different animals on the page. So for example, you might want to say, oh, I'm going to count how many, let's find like a mouse, like a bunny. Let's say a cat. And let's say, I don't know, a giraffe. Because giraffes are cute. So, okay. So in this case, the order can be something as simple as from the smallest animal up to the biggest animal. So then we would find, all the bunnies on the page or in the book, then all the cats, and then all the giraffes. And then you would put in the number in the order of smallest to biggest. So bunnies first, then cats, then giraffes. So those are just some ways that you can kind of add a puzzle into your escape room. So let's just go ahead and go forward with this story. And first of all, what kind of escape room is this? I don't even think we established that, do we? What's our setting? Prison? We like prisons. A library escape room, prison escape room. Do I have a library in the first place? I have books. This one? Ah. You're like locked in school or something? Okay. So we can stick with our cat. So what's our setting? What's our plot about? We have a creepy library. What's up with the creepy? We like the adjective creepy. It's like our favorite adjective. Attach it to everything. Creepy pasta, creepy library, creepy whatever. So we have an idea for the plot, or it's just going to be, let's just escape from this library. Okay. I will just do an escape from this library. We'll just do some basic coding. Okay. Okay, so we have what is your name, and we're not going to do the... You have an idea? What's your idea? Oh, that's a pretty good idea. So let's I don't even remember anything about the Dewey Decimal System, so that would be unfortunate. So let's say that, so I told you I wanted to show you how we can make something clickable, right? Like how the doors were clickable, but there was no glowing effect or anything. So one thing that I do is I go into shapes and I grab a shape, generally a square. You could use any shape though, the square, triangle, or the circle, whichever one that you like best. And then you're going to cover whichever part that you want to be clickable. So of course, you don't want to leave it to be green because that's really, really ugly. What you want to do is you want to go into, you have a couple options. You could go into the opacity, which is the little teardrop, and you bring it all the way to 0. So if the opacity is 0, that means it's transparent. And so now we have an invisible box, and this invisible box can be clicked. So for example, we might want to say, oh, on the last page, in order to find the special book, which one's the special book? What color should it be? Blue, the one in the middle, the blue and blue one? The blue and purple one? Blue and blue one? Blue and green? Okay, well, we'll do the blue and green one. Okay, so blue and green one. All right, so then what we can do is we can grab our invisible square. And when we click on our invisible square, we can direct the reader to a different page. So we can then direct the reader to the page where they have to maybe enter in the code, for example. Or we can even make it so that the input field appears. Do we want to keep it on this page? We can make it so the placeholder appears. Or do we want to go to a different page? Okay, well, we'll put it on a different page. Okay, so what is the secret code is here now. So what I can do then is when I click on this square, I can then go to a different page. So I could use go to page, and I could say we're going to go to page 4. Okay, and page 4 will be where we can enter in our code. Okay, so let's just review really quickly. How do I code all of this? Like, I want to ask them a question. I want to compare it with a value. What do I have to do in order to do all of this? I need to do something with variables. Do you remember what variables are? A little bit. So what is a variable? Can you help me out? Yeah, so it's a container that holds a value, and this value can change, and we can refer to this value throughout our program. So in our case, we want to create a variable, probably called player answer, and it's going to hold whatever the reader types in as the answer, okay? So let's go ahead and grab our input field, and we're going to use an event. Which event do we use? We always need an event, no matter what. So what event do we use? Yep, Kendra, you could just talk. Yep, on text input, because we want our code to run after we type things in and press enter, or after we exit our input field. Okay, so on text input, so secret code. After we input the text, what are we going to do? Well, we are going to set the variable player answer equal to whatever value was typed in. So how do I connect my blocks together? Can you help me with that? Okay, you have my mouse control. Oh, I didn't give you. Rohan, you could do my next one, okay? Kendra's doing this first. I'm not used to people knowing how to request my screen. I'm missing one. You're missing one last thing, one last connection. Actually, a couple steps. Yeah, we need to always connect our purple dots. We don't want to leave them lonely. And the last step is you have to select the variable. So which one are we dealing with? Great, we're doing player answer. All right, thank you, Kendra. Give me back my mouse. Give it back. Okay. Okay, so Rohan, it's your turn now. So now I want you to compare. So what do I need? I need to compare text. Very good. Yep, that's it. Very good. And then we have the exact and we have the else. Very good. Okay, so once we figure out what our secret code is, we'll put our secret code here, right? Secret code. And if it's exactly it, then we'll go to, I don't know, a good, like, let's create a good answer page, right? So let's say if you get the answer correct, we can get out of the school, right? I have a nice like school image. There we go. What do you think? Something like that. So you escaped the creepy school. There we go. And oh, that's a cool font. What do you think about this font? It's pretty cool. Okay, so you escape the creepy school is the good one. And then what happens if you don't get the answer correct? Okay, so you'll have to go back to the beginning. So let's have a bad answer page. Let's see, do we have... There you go. So we'll use this, and I'll use the same font. You were not able to answer. Find this, the secret code. And then we'll have a button that says start over. Whoa, I made my button sad. Try again. Okay, so the only thing we have to do is our try again button needs to work and to go back to the beginning. So when I have a button, I want to generally click on it. And I want to use the function go to page. Okay, so what page do I want to go to? When I click on try again, what page do I want to go to? Yeah? Yep, you want to go to the first page because we just want to just start over. Okay, and then one last thing that you have to pay attention to is generally when we have any choices anywhere, we want to lock the page. So in this case, it might not matter too much, but in some cases where we might have branching pathways, we want to make sure we lock the page. And what I mean by lock the page is make it so that you can't swipe left or right. Like right now I can swipe right to go to the previous and next page, but I might not want that to be available for the reader because sometimes I want them to only click on my button and just click on it. I don't want them to swipe. So we have a couple of functions that are called lock navigation next page and lock navigation previous page. Basically, lock navigation next page means that you cannot go to the next page, and lock navigation previous page means you cannot go to the previous page by swiping or using the arrow keys. So I just use them whenever I have any buttons of any sort. And this is just very, very, very useful. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually create our puzzle now, right? We have our kind of answer. We have something we have to click on, a hidden thing we have to click on, but we don't have anything telling our reader what they're supposed to do. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to find the library. There we go. Okay, so what should we do? Do you have any ideas about what kind of puzzle we want to do? Maybe we want to do like the color one I showed you, or maybe we want to just give them a riddle. A riddle? What kind of riddle? Do you have a riddle ready for me? You want to look one up? You got one? You got one? Okay, what's the riddle? Okay, try your best to say it. Island. So you're a farmer, you're stranded on an island, and you have a boat. And a you can only take one item at a time with you to get across the island. Okay? Okay. So you can't leave the fox with the chicken because the fox will eat the chicken. So, how are they supposed to respond to this? How are we going to ask them to respond? Okay. So we can actually do this, but we won't be able to do it with input field, because if we do an input field, the passcode needs to be short. It needs to be something that the computer will know how to match exactly. So for example, if I say like, take the chicken first and then take the corn, and then in my answer I say chicken, corn, those two sentences don't match, so the computer will say it's wrong, even if we think it's right, because computers are kind of stupid. So what we can actually do though is we can do a different type of exercise for this. I don't know if you guys want to do it, but we can ask the reader to click on different objects in a specific order. So I think it's similar to this. Yeah, so you would pick the order. So like, for example, like here, it's like, which one is biggest to smallest? I can click on, well, the cat's smaller. So, or click on the images from smallest to biggest. The cat is smaller. Then the line is bigger. And you see now what I've done is when I clicked on the cat, I added a text to the variable 1. So my answer that I'm comparing to is actually 12. Okay, how is your brain doing right now? You get it? So we can do something like that. You want to do something like that for the chicken fox one, or you want to find a different riddle? Okay, so what about you, Rohan? You have an opinion about this? Okay. So we can actually make it kind of prettier. So let's go ahead while she's in the bathroom, make this a little bit prettier. Okay, so we have, let's find a farmer. Do we have a farmer? We should have a farmer. Oh, we have like a 3 little piggy farmer. Do we want the bunny farmer? He looks kind of funny. Or we want an anime character. You want an anime character? You like the bunny farmer? I like him too. He's kind of cute. So we have a bunny farmer. We're gonna go find a boat. Do we have a boat somewhere? If I say beach, I think there was one with a boat. Ah, close enough. Alright, there we go. So you're a farmer and you're a farmer and you are stranded on an island and you have a boat. Okay. So you also have a chicken. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just set this text so it's easier to read by putting it behind, like so. Just making it pretty on my side. Okay, it looks a little bit prettier now. Okay, so we now need a fox. Let's find a fox. Fox. Do I have a fox here? Oh, we have a fox. Which fox do you like? This one? The cartoony one? Or you want this one? This one's cute too. Or you want the thing? The knight armor? Okay. You want the knight armor fox. The fox? Okay, we need a chicken now. Let's find a chicken. Well, I don't think we want this chicken. That is a chicken. Oh, this is cute. You want the little baby chicken? Or you want the funny chicken? You want the funny chicken? Okay, we're gonna add the funny chicken. Okay, and we need a bag of corn. So we need corn. This is close enough, right? There we go. We have our fox, our chicken, and our corn. You can only take... Okay. Okay, so what do you think about our beautiful page? It looks beautiful? It's wonderful, okay? This is a wonderful fox. Yes, he's amazing, our fox, okay? So I need to now put in our directions. I'm going to actually duplicate this page so I can have the exact same stuff. And I'm just going to change the text here. Oh, that was a bad idea. Actually, no, that was fine. Okay, so I cannot leave the chicken with fox with the chicken because the fox will eat the chicken. Okay, so we can make him say something. I love chicken. You have a better idea of what he should say? You're like, you're weird. Okay. Okay, so now our question is how so my question should be, in what order do I bring them across? Okay, so what's our answer then? Kendra, what's our answer? Okay, so let's see how we can do this. So we want to, how can we code this? There's a couple ways. Let's do it like this. Chicken across first, then we need to bring the fox over. Then we need to bring the chicken back. Then we need to bring the corn over. Then we go back and we need to bring the chicken back. Okay, so this is actually kind of complicated. Let's figure out how we can maybe do this. Okay, so the first trip. Okay, so we could do this in multiple steps. Let's do this in multiple steps. Okay, so so what I think would be kind of cool would be if we can drag it over. So what we'll do is we will drag our, wait, chicken needs to go first, is it? I already forgot. Chicken. Chicken. And then the fox. So let's see if we can figure this out. On drag over, we're going to drag this over. Then we want to drag over the fox afterwards. Okay, so this is actually, we would maybe have to use other variables in order to do this properly. We might need to use a Boolean. Actually, let me think about this so I can figure out an easy way to explain how we can code it. And we'll do it next time. How about that? Okay. So we'll do it next time. I think this is a pretty interesting challenge. It's just when we use variables, we can actually use kind of any of these variables. It's just it'll just be more complicated in some than others. So I'll first try to figure out how to make it easier, and then we'll do it the easy way. So we don't have to do the complicated way first. Now I really like this this puzzle, so we're gonna move this down for right now, and we'll do this a little bit later. And in the meantime, we'll just finish this one really quick that we did. So we'll just say, we'll just do a quick riddle. Do we have another riddle that's like easier? That's like one answer? A 4-word answer was, okay, first of all, what's the answer? Or no, what's the riddle? And then you can tell us the answer. He stayed for 2 days and came back on Friday. So what's the answer? I think that's a good riddle, so we're gonna keep this one. Okay. So what we can do is we can give them a hint that it has something to do with a horse, and we can just say he or we can have kind of like a fill in the blank. Let's do that. He was. How many letters are in riding? Ride a HORSE. Is that enough letters? That way we can ensure that whatever they type in will be the answer. Does that make sense? So we can match exactly the secret code. So then here we can say our answer is he was riding a horse named Friday. And actually we can even make it better. We can do a riddle within a riddle. So what we can do is we can like highlight certain letters, for example. So if our answer is he was riding a horse named Friday, can we think of a word that uses some of these letters? All right, I'm just going to make up one. So we're going to use like rare or something. R A R E. And it could be whatever we want, but this is just so that way the secret code is no longer a sentence. It becomes just one word. Do we get it? And the reason behind that is because computers are stupid, and if you miss a period and the answer has a period, it won't match exactly, and so it'll say it's wrong. And we don't want that to happen because that's not a very good gameplay experience, right? You're like, I got it right though. Yeah. And so we want to make sure that we allow our readers to have a good gameplay experience. So we'll just make it pink. And so it's kind of like a riddle within a riddle. Any questions about how the reasoning behind all this? Harry? Okay, let's do Harry. I don't see a C in here. Otherwise, we have to add a C to this sentence. Oh, that's the horse's name? Okay, Harry is the secret code. Maybe it's the name of, I don't know, some other person. H-A-R... R, where is it? R, Y. Okay, so seems good. So we have H-A-R-R-Y, and it needs to match exactly. So if it's capitalized, the answer has to be capitalized as well, because once again, computers are stupid. So that's just how it is. So if it matches exactly, we want to lead them to what page? page 8. And if it doesn't match exactly, then we want to lead them to page 9. Okay. So if I preview now, and let's just test it out. If I type in JRRY, Harry, I escaped the creepy school. Hooray. And if I type in Trollolololo, you were not find the secret code. That is not correct English. Let us fix this sentence. You did not find the secret code. This one? Uh-huh. A horde of zombies. Okay, let's search scary. Let's find a zombie to satisfy your zombie interests. There we go. We'll have a hand sticking out because we can. Happy now? Okay, so we have our basic riddle here. And let's just test it out. So I'm going to preview now. Oh, we have sound. I forgot about that. We have music. Let's press start. What is your name? Hello, Kendra. Yay! So that's the basics, and we are out of time. So next week, I'm going to actually see if I can figure out how to code this one, and we can figure out how to make it kind of fun. I like this puzzle, so we'll take a look at that next. It'll be a bit of a challenge. But you have access to this, so if you want to create your own puzzles, you can take a look at how I do this. So for example, we didn't cover this yet, but we have the change the variable value, so you could just change the value, and this is used by personality quizzes, things like that. So you can say I like cats, I like dogs, things like that. So I think did I show you the personality quiz? I don't remember. So did you guys take a look at this one before on your own? So this one's pretty cool. We can take a look at it. So this one's created by Supernova. She's a 6th grader actually, and she was in the coding club before. I think it was a while back, but she made this one, and it says, when you look in the mirror, you think, I'm fine with how I look. I want to change the way I look, or whatever. You could do 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. 1. Okay. 1. What do you think other people think of you when they first see you? It doesn't matter. I like the image I give the world. I'm sure they think you, or they must be immediately charmed. Okay, we'll say we like the image we give the world. What's your ideal pet? I don't want a pet, it'll just die. A cat all the way, or I think I'll pick a dog. Okay, we have dog people. Are we dog people? I think we're dog people. 3. Okay, dog. I hate it when people argue with me, people are mad at me, or I have to talk to humans. People are mad at you. In my free time, I just relax, watch TV, or read a book. Are we book people or TV people? Let's be book people. My favorite activity is anything that gives me a good workout. I don't like physical activity. Ice skating or something calming but also fun. Which one? We like ice skating? Do you have ice skating rinks around where you are? Lots of them? When I was in Boston, it was easy to ice skate, but I originally lived in Arizona and it's a desert, so I never ice skated when I was younger. Didn't really exist. Well, I'm sure it does, but they're all artificial, so. My ideal friends are, I don't have friends, popular, so I am too, or funny and not afraid to make a joke. Funny people. My family is the worst. They never agree to me, exactly like me. We see eye to eye. Unbearable at times, but they're mostly all right. I think they're mostly all right. Well, we're going to go with that. When I meet someone, I look for how they treat other people, what everyone else thinks of them, or whether or not they look like someone I'd hang out with. Oh, how they treat other people. Okay, so this is now the results. So what happened was, depending upon each choice, the variable for that page, generally it's called like page 2 or page 3, the value would change. So the sentence would change depending upon what choice you would pick. So in this case, it says you are confident, you have realistic expectations of how people look, plus you're definitely loyal and you stand up for the weak, and you are a little bit sensitive. You truly know how to lose yourself in daydreams and you don't lose your cool too easily. You can have a good time easily. When asked, people would describe you as funny, able to cheer people up, and even though you can get aggravated with your family sometimes, you still unconditionally love them. Finally, don't worry, you're a good person. Pretty cool? Yeah, so you can actually create your own similar to this. Creepily accurate, but that's because it just depends on your choice. So your choice will change the sentence. So you could take a look at it, you could remix it and see how it's coded. This one is just using what we kind of covered earlier, where it's the variable equals value block, and you can just go ahead and take a look at how you can make your own. Okay, anyway, any questions at this time? We didn't really do much of an escape room because we got stuck with this riddle for a while, but it's okay. We got this one ready, and maybe we can add another one next time to figure out how we can find this book. I think we'll be pretty good with that. What do you think? Awesome. So if you don't have any